If you continue this investigation, I will call some people that I know in Europe, and they will fly over here one night. They will put a bullet in your head.
Huda.
The morning stream. Get your bleeping tentacle out of my face.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to TMS. It's the morning stream for July 1st, 2025. I'm Scott Johnson. That's Brian Ibbett. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
I don't feel like we get to do firsts a lot. Feels like they get stuck on weekends and stuff.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Starting a week, even though it was yesterday was Monday, but starting our week with a 1. It's kind of cool.
I know. It's kind of nice. It's like a little fresh start.
Yeah.
Let's start with the first.
Like putting Downy in your laundry.
Yes.
Oh, I thought of that. All right. Hey, man, did we miss you guys? But man, did you miss us? Because we got up to some stuff. In fact, Brian, I got to admit, I got to say this about Brian here right off the bat. You seem in way more energetic state than I expected. I thought you would be pooped and laid out for a while.
Yeah. Yesterday was definitely a sitting down day, work day. Like I could not do the standing desk yesterday.
Got the wibbly wobblies, knocking knees.
More like, where I notice it is if I'm going up and down the stairs to come down to my office here. It's like coming down the stairs. It was almost like a left foot on the stair, then my right foot goes on the same stair, then my left foot ventures down to the next stair, then my right foot follows it down to the next stair, as opposed to like, alternating. But
sure.
That was more Sunday night and a little bit yesterday morning. But no, today I honestly feel like I could go back out and bike ride and even do like a 20 mile ride.
Are you gonna?
But no, I've got too much to do. I've got a windshield guy coming at some point to replace my windshield. Had a nice little crack that's starting to go across.
How's their window for these days for window fixer people? Is it like cable where it's like it will be there between
12 to 5 is what they told me.
Shit.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, thank you for making it so that I can't do anything else today because I need to stay by the house so that when you eventually show up, man, just trying to any other profession besides cable tells you that they'll be there between 12 and 5. People would be like, no, screw you.
Yeah,
like it's DoorDash. Yeah, your ledge will be there sometime between 12 and 5.
Yeah, it's almost like even delivery services have a tighter window, even if they're delayed. Yeah. Like FedEx will. Well, lately FedEx has been terrible, but generally speaking, FedEx, UPS, USPS, all these guys kind of have there's a little space there. It isn't 7 hours.
Right.
That is some horse shit. We as a society should rise up and we should take it back. We should take back what's ours.
Exactly. I understand, some things like a cable installation, you don't know how long that's going to take. You don't know what kind of obstacles you're going to have to deal with getting the cable from the box to the house, in through the wall, over to the TV, where the TV might be, how they're going to have to route it. Makes sense. But a windshield, pretty much you know how long the windshield roughly is going to take. Yeah,
generally.
You take out the old windshield, you put in the new windshield, you put the little glue, you do the tape, you do the whatever,
right?
And you're done. So
yeah, and then some of them are obviously more expensive than others, and you don't have to give pricing here, but is it not too bad for a Kia Soul?
Fully covered for my from my insurance.
Nice.
We get one full windshield replacement per year if we want it, but for the chips that I've gotten for the last few years, this will be the first windshield replacement I've had on the Kia Soul. But there have been a few chip replacements where they do that melt and fill deal, and
well, you know what that stuff is, like a glue or something, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, it never quite heals correctly, and the latest one kind of starred out a little bit, like, had cracks that went out from the center, and they really just filled the center of it. So the center of it, kind of a glass scar, and you still have the star things coming out of the sides of it. Yeah. So I'm glad to have the whole thing out. and replace.
Matuba says it's resin. Is that true? I didn't know that.
Is it resin?
Must be some kind of clear, obviously not like printer resin, but some kind of UV resin, he says. Okay.
There you go. Okay, so yeah, very makes sense.
There you go. Well, that's so. All right, so it went well. No wipeouts, no exploding people or whatever. I don't know.
Exploding people. So it was funny timing. So the first day, Saturday, get out there, and it was perfect temperature. It was like mid 60s when we started, and it was just great. Hauling butt out of Boulder, Colorado, and making our way north and going for it.
Yeah.
30 miles in, going up this hill, up to a roundabout, and as I'm getting to the top of the hill, it's the back tire is feeling a little like you get this kind of a squishy feeling in the ride, like you don't feel like you're riding on a smooth surface. You feel like you're riding on something much harder, and you're feeling every bump. And I look down, and sure enough, my back tire is flat. Back tire being flat sucks because you've got the derailleur and all that nonsense.
Front tire, easy peasy. Back tire, you got all the chain.
Relatively easy peasy. Yes, you got the chain to deal with, all that stuff. So I pull over to where I've got some room to work on it, where cars, there's kind of a blind curve right there before the roundabout, so I have to go further. Unfortunately, it means out of the shade into the sun.
Yeah.
And it's starting to get warm. It's starting to get about 75, 80 degrees. And I flip my bike over. I've got, take all the stuff, my phone and my water bottles out. And then one of the water bottle cages is actually a quote unquote secret door that I can pull off. And in the frame is my toolkit and my spare tube. And so I pull out the spare toolkit, and then I reach in to pull out the tube, and the tube is gone.
Oh,
and
shit!
I realize at that point that the tube that's not in there is the one that's currently in the back tire that I replaced about 6 months ago after a ride, and never put a new tube in. So I'm like, well, crap. All right. I'm going to use the support vehicles. They have the support, the support and it's SAG. It's support and, yeah. I can't remember what the G stands for. But I can call those services, and they'll just get me to the next rest stop. And every rest stop has a bike repair person at it. So, so I can just, get myself, and I was only 3 miles apparently from the next one. So I get on the phone, I say, hey, here's where I'm at. Here's the cross streets. Here's the street, etc. And they're like, cool, Art, we'll have somebody there right away. Well, then one of their on-course support people comes by. He's on a motorcycle. They got the flashing lights. And basically they're there to make sure that, if you're injured, if your bike has a problem like a flat tire, they're there to help. And he's like, hey, do you need any help? And I'm like, well, I got a flat tire and my tube's gone, so I'm just getting a ride to the next stop. He's like, I've got a tube. And I'm like, okay, cool. And he pulls over and hands me the tube, and the two of us start working on it, taking it apart. And then another cyclist, and this is like, so that guy's on a motorcycle. There's also support guys who ride bicycles and basically do the same ride, full ride, but they have extra water bottles, they have tube repair kits and things like that themselves.
What a wild thing to do, because that means you have to be on par with the group. Right?
Exactly. You have to stay with a good cluster of the group to be able to provide those services. You can't be the guy bringing up the rear because, potentially somebody having a problem way up ahead, it's going to be a long time before you get to them.
Yeah, it's like those cameramen in the Olympic running stuff where they have to keep up with the runners. Right. That's wild.
It's better actually if you're at the back of the group, because if somebody fails, then that's, you're going to catch up to them. You don't want to be at the front of the group because you don't want to be ahead of all the problems.
Yeah, the guy with all the stuff to fix he wins. He got the medal. Well done,
right,
buddy.
Exactly. He gets.
But there's 14 dead people back there. Good job. You did it.
Yeah. But so he shows up and he's like, "Oh, hey, what you guys doing?" And I explain, "Oh, we're fixing a tire." And we were pretty much in this part where the tube is now inside. We're putting on the valve nut to lock it in, and we're putting the tire back over the tube. And he says, "Oh man, I've changed so many tires. I probably had that done in like a minute." And I'm like, "Great. Where were you 5 minutes ago? That would have been terrific if you would have been doing this in a minute." Yeah. Like, what a weird flex. And then the guy with the motorcycle has, I have a cartridge and a CO2 thing, to fill up the tire, but he's already got his pump out and he's starting to fill it up. And the guy, the bicyclist guy who could repair a tire in a minute says, "Oh, what are you using that for? I've got a cartridge and a little cartridge mount to fill that up for you." And so the motorcycle guy takes the pump off. I don't know why I'm not doing any of this, but he just jumped right on it. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Sure, let him do it.
Save my energy for the ride.
Yeah.
You do that, Mr. Motorcycle Guy.
Yeah.
And this guy starts fishing through his fanny pack, and gum is falling out, lip balm, a little miniature flashlight, like all over the road in front of us.
Yeah.
And he's like digging around in this thing, trying to find the little cartridge and the cartridge mount. And finally after a minute and a half, 2 minutes, he finally pulls it out, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, where was that speed for changing the tire there, man? But pumps it up, I flip it back over, put my water bottles back in, hook my phone back up, and off I go back on to the rest of the ride. And that Saturday, one of the hottest days on record hottest day of the year so far. It actually got up to 98, and with the heat coming off the asphalt underneath us, we figure it was about 100 something. And I get to the second to last pit stop. So there are, on day one, there were 3 pit stops, then a lunch stop, then 2 more pit stops, and then the finish line. And I'm at about mile 65 and get to the second to last pit stop. And I watch as I pull up, get off my bike, and I'm walking up to the place where they've got snacks and fruit and water, and they're basically dumping the last remnants of a Deep Rock water bottle into some dude's water bottle.
Oh shit!
And I hear them saying, "That's the last of our water," and I'm like, "Wait, what?" It's like still middle of there's lots of people behind me. I'm nowhere near like the back of the pack. I'm probably mid group. And they're like, "Yeah, but we do have ice, so just fill up your water bottles with ice, and as it melts, then you'll get water."
Yeah, but good water bottles keep them nice and icy for a long time, right?
Exactly. Like, but I want water now.
Yeah.
I don't want water in 20 minutes. I want water now.
Put it in your armpit and just hope for the best. Like, that's ridiculous. They should have water there.
And it's already 94 degrees. We've been going uphill for the last 18 miles to get to this pit stop, and I am just wiped out. The soles of my feet are both burning and numb. Like the only sensation in the soles of my feet are fire.
Those are not good combos of feeling.
It is not. No, it just from all the riding. Yeah. And I'm like thinking, "Oh, am I done? No, I got to do this. And so I fill up the bottles with ice. And just, George and I just say, "Let's do it. We're going to make it. We're going to finish this thing." So, "Oh yeah, I have one of those backpacks." So Claire says, "Oh, so you'd not have one of those backpack things with a wee tube for water?"
A wee tube.
A wee tube. Yes, it's called a Camelback, and I absolutely have one of those, and it is empty at this point.
We've never seen a camel here where I live, yar.
Yeah. For this ride, you want to have a Camelback and then 2 backup bottles. You don't want to have just any. You don't want to have any 2 of those 3. You want to have all 3.
Yeah.
Because it is blazing hot. It's dry. My mustache is stuck to my upper lip, and I'm constantly like licking my lips as I'm going uphill, because you're breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth, and you feel like you're losing so much moisture with every breath you let out.
Because you literally are. It's like you're just drying out like a leaf.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't know why the people at pit stop didn't look ahead and say, "Oh, we've only got 2 big Deep Rock jugs of water left. Maybe we should run to, I don't know, a nearby store or someplace and get more water."
Yeah. I mean, they weren't waiting for somebody to bring any, right, or anything like that. Like there's a truck going around bringing water to the stops or something.
No. I mean, there probably was. They probably called somebody and said, "Hey, are there any stops that have extra water? The first or second stops where nobody's there anymore. As they close up, maybe send your water to the last stops.
The water guy effed up is what I think. Whoever's in charge.
Totally effed up.
Yeah.
So we continue, finally get back on our bikes, continue on the ride, and it's going okay. Water's melting, and I'm getting every bit of it that I can as it melts. And this next stretch is an 18-mile stretch before the last stop before the finish line, and I am willing every muscle in my body to just work. I'm like, given my legs have one item on the to-do list, which is just pedal.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing else that I need them to do.
Yeah.
And this last little stretch, this is something that they've never done on any of the MS-150 rides I've ever been on, is actually on a green belt. It's not even on a road. So we don't have to worry about traffic going next to us. It's also concrete instead of asphalt. So the heat isn't reflecting back on us as much. The green belt's far away from trees enough to where we get a little bit of shade every once in a while, but that's it. But
right.
But it's a little bit better. Now, before I passed this way,
Yeah.
another member of our team was on the green belt, and he's also a listener to TMS. His name is Sean. And he looks down his phone to see what the miles are, to the next stop. This is that same stretch that I'm on. And as he looks back up, he realizes there's something in the middle of the path. And as he gets closer, he realizes, and he's going 18 or 16, 15 miles an hour, and he realizes it's a rattlesnake sunning himself in the middle of the path.
Shit.
And he's close enough that he really can't go left or right. And he triggers his BMX kid lifestyle and bunny hops his road bike over the rattlesnake.
Damn, dude.
And when he gets to the next stop, he talks to some of the people who are behind him, and he says, "Did you see the rattlesnake?" And the guy says, "Yeah, that thing was pissed off. I think a bunch of people had zipped around it and got close to it, and one guy bunny hopped over it. And by the time they got to it, this thing was hissing and spitting and weaving at people as they were going by. And so they just grabbed a big long stick and just kind of shooed it off the path. And got it out of
Probably
there.
his daily little path crossing,
I think so. Yeah, exactly. Just got to sun himself on the 90-degree.
He's like, what the F is this? What's all this shit? These bikes and people F this shit, he says to himself. He says.
So I get to the last rest stop after the one that only had ice. And now we get to the rest stop that has no ice and only deep rock jugs of water that are warm. And I'm not sure which is worse. Because now the ice is melting. I at least had some cool water to drink on that last stretch. But now I'm out, and all that I have available to me is warm water. And it's I gotta, gotta do it.
Yeah.
And this one is 7 miles from the stop. And so we said, whatever, we're, obviously let's fill up with water and let's just go.
Sure.
And apparently warm water is supposed to be more quenching for you because cold water doesn't get rid of the thirst reflex or some bullshit. I don't know.
Room temperature maybe, but when it's heat warm, it's out in the sun been warming, that's different. That's gross.
Yeah, exactly. So we cross the finish line. There's people there immediately with oh my god, the best Longmont Dairy little cartons of chocolate milk. For whatever reason, just that just replenishes you more than anything. So we totally chugged those down and then made our way to the team tent, and we where they had cold washcloths, frozen washcloths that I just loved. Went through. I chugged 4 or 5 bottles of water with cold washcloths on the top of my head and my neck and all that stuff, and I didn't pee until 8 o'clock that night, which that tells you how dehydrated I was. That I was drinking constantly.
Yeah, you can always tell when you drink a ton and you don't pee. It's a sign you needed that stuff real bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So got up the next day, and that night I'm thinking, this could just be a year where I just do the first day, because I was miserable at the end of this one. My feet were burning. I could, when we got to the team tent, I could barely walk because my feet were were hurting so bad. So I'm like, oh, this could be a year where I just do a Saturday. And so, you know what? No, Sunday, wake up. I'm going to do just the first, get to the first pit stop, and then I'll decide from there.
Yeah, take it from there. That's a good idea.
Yep. So got to the first one. It was 14 miles. And I'm like, all right, well, you know what? I'm going to get to the second pit stop because then I'll break I'll break 100 miles, right? Because I'll have 81 the first day, and by the time I get to the second stop, I'll have gone more than 19 miles. So I'll have done a total of 100 miles.
Yeah.
I get to the second stop. I'm like, all right, I think I can go a little bit more. Feet are already starting to burn, and this is way earlier than they did on Saturday. I get to the lunch stop, which is 42 miles into the second day, and yeah, I guess there were 3 stops and then the lunch stop because that was 42 miles. There were definitely 3 stops before the lunch stop. I get to the 42 mile mark and the lunch stop. I'm like, I think this is it. I think this is where I stop. My body is saying don't go any further.
Yeah, at some point you have to listen to that, right? You have to.
Yeah, exactly. So I stopped. There were a few people who were, there were quite a few people who just didn't do the second day at all, and then there were. I was in the SAG vehicle with a few other people who decided that this was it for them as well. George kept going, and when he finally got to the finish line, he said, "You made the right decision." Right after the lunch stop, there is one of the worst hills I've ever gone on the MS 150. Oh, sure. And if you were already hurting, then you wouldn't have made it. And my back, the big problem was my back. For the last 10 miles before the lunch stop, George was watching me and saying, "Dude, you all right?" Because I could not find a comfortable position for my back. Leaning too far forward was hurting, upright was hurting, 45 degrees was hurting. Every position I was in, my back was.
There's probably some magical little space in there, but it's hard to find it when it's that granular. It's like,
yeah, I think so. Yeah. Like the sweet spot, and I just didn't have the energy to find it. So,
well done
I did 123 miles total, and I'm fine with that.
So I'm telling you right now, so is the universe. That is plenty.
Yeah. Yeah.
You did it. You nailed it. You got a great haul for the cause. You dealt with no water. You dealt with warm to hot water. Exactly. You know, who knows, a snake.
Yeah, exactly. Fortunately, missed the snake. It was probably in the bushes next to me, and I didn't even know it. Probably, getting ready to attack. So next year, 150, but and hopefully better temperatures next year.
That's really the kicker, right? You never know what's going to be this time of year.
End of June could be raining, could be cool, could be blazingly hot. And as you know from Utah as well, similar kind of thing.
Very similar, yeah. And it can change in a day. Like it'll be 103 for a week, and you're like, we're going to die, and then it'll be 80 for the next 2 weeks. You're like, sweet,
exactly. Yes.
A little bit of wind came and took it all down to Texas or somebody else.
Right. Yeah. Yesterday, so Saturday and Sunday were hundreds and 90s, and then yesterday, the day after, 70s and 80s.
That sucks.
It's like, come on.
Yeah, that sucks.
So,
anyway. All right. Well done. Congratulations. Another year done, done, and done.
Yes. And I'm going to try to not just let my bike sit for the entirety of July and August.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard because you're just like, I just did all that. I don't want to sit on that thing again. I get it.
Yeah. But Gooch butter was great, and Mike Pacholik sent peanut butter packets of protein stuff for the ride, and he sent some chamois butter as well, and big thanks to him. Oh, one other person I got to do a shout out to, Nate. First year working the MS 150, I walked by his tent on Sunday, like a little support tent, and he says, "Are you Brian Ibbett by chance?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He says, "Oh, longtime TMS listener. This is my first year working the MS 150, and I was hoping I'd get a chance to see you and say hi."
That's
so
awesome.
like, "Oh, dude, great meeting you."
Very cool.
I was trying to get off my feet, so I didn't talk for very long, but it was great meeting you, Nate, and thank you for everything you do with the MS 150. Okay.
Very cool. All right, you want to know where I was at all weekend?
I want to tell me about your trip.
Because normally I'm just here going, all right, checking in on Brian. Oh, it looks like he's okay, He's still alive. That's usually my MS 150 weekend. Usually nothing going on.
Right.
But this weekend, I took Kim to, and I say I took her because it was originally my idea to do this, if you can believe it.
Oh, really? Wow.
It's because I know how much she would want to do this. It's on her bucket list.
Yeah.
And we decided to go see Dead Mouse live in Las Vegas. Hilariously, the day before he performed for us in Vegas, he was here in Salt Lake City performing.
Oh, really? Oh, funny.
But it was
yeah,
at the.
but that's a better venue to see him at.
Oh, for
probably.
sure. But it was also the X Games, so you had to buy all the X Games shit. We weren't into that because they're doing those things here. But anyway, we went to Vegas. All right. So now I'm going to give you the very brief look at the three phases of Vegas as far as I'm concerned. Because I saw some weird shit this year. This time, more than I've ever seen. Usually, if I'm in Vegas with you guys, I'm with you guys, and the weird things are usually, ha ha ha, that lady's got no bra on, or whatever. It's like no big deal, or the nun has no top, or whatever. It's like that, not that big a deal. But we go to this concert. It is a very schmancy. It's in the Wynn Hotel. It's this really, really fancy nightclub called the XS. 2 letters, X and S.
XS. Yeah, I've never been in there, but I know of it and its logo.
It's very, very fancy. They use it a lot for the EDM week, and like it's a popular place for DJs like this to come do like electronica and stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's cool because it's got one half of the thing is this giant space with lots of fancy leather booths and stuff that's like an indoor place that you would see in like a Sinatra movie.
Yeah.
And and then the stage, which could face either direction, and then after that it's outside venue. To that same stage, which is where we all were. This was not an inside one. This was all outside. So outside are all these there are a bunch of booths and stuff outside, but they're all like $1,000 to $12,000. These booths, we found out you couldn't just get a booth. You can't go just sit somewhere. They're all reserved,
of course,
for probably an average of $6,000 or $7,000. Some of these. Jeez. The one bias was about $20,000. Somebody told me, the guard there, the security guy, and it had a bunch of UFC people in it. So, if anyone watched UFC, because the UFC was there for the weekend, if anyone watched any UFC coverage, the announcer for most of the matches was standing over there with a girl a quarter of his age.
Of course, yeah.
Rubbing all over each other. Fantastic stuff to see. And he looked like Paulie from The Sopranos, just old Italian guy.
All right, yep.
Anyway, that part's neither here nor there. We're at the concert. It was great. We got VIP access. Huge thanks to Tanner. He has contacts there. Made all this happen.
He was telling us about that at D&D. Like he was telling us, yeah, I hooked Scott up because I know a guy.
He really did.
I know a lady there.
Yeah. Her name was Coco, and she was awesome to work with. She was very nice.
Very cool.
Coco with a K, which is very cool,
One K or two? So
just one. It was K-O-C-O, so you got a little both.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little taste of K, a little taste of C, in there.
Interesting, yeah.
Anyway, so we get in there. Thank you, Tanner, once again, because it was fantastic. We had such a great time. But I was a little worried because I was like, how packed is this?
Yeah.
You see these shows, and they're just people mushed up like sardines. And I don't love crowds. You know me. I'm not a fan.
No.
So I found a trick to that. You get up front.
Oh, yeah. Then you only have people on 3 sides.
Yeah. Then if you get right up front where we are, we kind of got to a corner where the left side was nobody. Except us, and then the expensive 20K people sitting over on the other side of it.
On the right
then there's
side, sure.
Dead Mouse and his openers are right in front of us. And then on the other side, I'll get to him in a minute. But anyway, that's a great place to be because the only time you feel like you're in a huge, disgusting crowd is when you look behind you, and then you go, oh my Lord. Like, there's so many people. And they went all the way back to the hotel pool part of the place. It was insane. So anyway, we're in there. And I got 2 drug requests from strangers.
Oh, like asking if you wanted them or asking if you had them?
Asking me if I had them. So first guy.
Because you look like, yeah, okay.
First guy taps me on the shoulder and goes, you got any Molly? And I go, no, I don't have any Molly.
Uh-huh.
This is before things got real loud in there. So we were kind of able to just talk like that. So I go, yeah, I don't have any of that. And he goes, cool, bro. And then he kept moving. Went somewhere else. But then later, some guy touches me on the back, taps me like this. Just kept doing it. And at first I ignored it because I'm like, maybe they're dancing too close. This is during most of the set. Tap, 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 tap. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I turn around. The guy gets up close to my ear, grabs me by the shoulders, gets up to my ear and goes, hey, man, do you have any poppers? And I went, I don't have any poppers, which sounded like, I don't know what the hell those are.
Right.
Because I don't, or I didn't.
It'd be
I know
great
now.
if you had like some of the packing material in your pocket, and you're like, "Oh, these, yeah,
Yeah, these. I get some of these. Are you trying to send? Is it international or is it just? You know what I mean? So I said. So he he says, "You have any poppers?" I go, "I don't." Not knowing what those are, and I turned to our friends we're with, Riley and Lauren. Had a great time with them. I forgot to mention we were there with some friends, and asked Riley. I said, "Riley, what's a popper?" And he wasn't exactly sure, but his wife knew exactly what it was. She goes, "Oh, those are like these things. They're almost like when you got to wake somebody up and you open a thing and they smell it.
Oh, yeah, like smelling salts. Those little vials of
Yeah, it's like that. Except what it does is you get like a 5-minute high or a 2 to 5 minute like some kind of crazy high. They're not legal as far as I know.
Sure.
But you just like do that." And then she goes, "But the gays really like them for a different reason." And I said, "Why?" And I regret asking.
Oh, really?
And I'm now going to tell everybody why.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Headbutt in the chat knows.
She does. Oh, really?
Let me. You know what?
Really?
I'm not even going to say it out loud. I'm just going to make this for the viewers and for Brian, and then everyone at home. I'm not going to burden you with this.
Yeah.
So Brian, it makes this go to that.
Oh, gotcha. Like loosens things up a little bit.
Let's put it that way.
Dilates you.
There you go. That's what she told me. And all I could do was laugh my head off and decide never to have one. That was my moment of never having a popper.
Dang, I feel like I could have used one after the all the Nature Valley granola bars on the ride.
I was going to say, it's not a terrible idea for some of us in certain situations, but this was not one.
Cheese. Do you have any poppers?
So I was like, I'm good, buddy. I don't have anything. So he leaves.
Okay.
All right. Next thing. Guy next to me, super hopped up on what my friends say was obviously Molly. They're like big rave goers. They see this stuff all the time.
Oh, really? Okay.
So there's like a telltale thing where their little jaws kind of slack and their eyes are super dilated and they're really talky and touchy and lovey.
Right. Okay.
Or something.
Oh, well, that was like the ecstasy based on that. But
is that? I don't know. Are those two different? They're different. Then
I think they're different. I don't. You know what? I don't know actually.
Molly and ecstasy, MDMA.
Maybe ecstasy. Maybe they're all saying the names for the different names for the same.
I
thing.
have no idea. They might be, but I guess they're highly euphoric, and you just feel better than you've ever felt, and all this sort of stuff.
Oh, Molly is meth, and
Molly's meth.
That's funny. Dr. Jerry Tolbert says Molly is meth, but other people are saying basically the same, that Molly and ecstasy.
Oh, Molly's a methamphetamine. Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Tom Norman. Boy,
obviously it's
there's
not
a lot of people. Yeah,
it's not garage meth, but it's like,
right.
What does MDMA stand for?
The MA for MDMA stands for methamphetamine, but I don't know what the MD stands for.
All right. Well, that one tightens up your. Anyway.
Yeah, you don't want to take that and the poppers because you're just basically canceling each other out.
Yeah, it's a neutral experience. Anyway, MDMA says No Name says it's ecstasy, so they must be separate. Molly and MDMA are not the same. I don't know.
Benjamin says MDMA, Molly, ecstasy, synthetic drug. So according to Benjamin, they're all the same.
All right. Well, as usual, the chat room is a mix of information.
I know. I love it. This is Well,
I'm not counting on any of this. I'll look it up later. But anyway, the point is, this guy's clearly on it and heavily.
Yeah.
And he's going. He kept looking over to me and putting his arm around me and going, "Hey, man." And I'm like, "Hey, dude." And then he would go back to going, "Oh," and he did this. I have to step away from the mic for this. It's going to be loud. He would do this every 8 minutes or so, almost on the dot. He would go, like that.
Nice.
Almost every 8 minutes, or it was about like that interval. And it was very loud in my ear. And it drove me crazy. But whatever. He's over there doing his thing. And he's got a friend there with a mustache and he starts going, "My friend here, he's getting married in a month." I'm like, "That's awesome, you guys." And they would grab me by the shoulder and go, "Yeah, it is awesome." And then he'd go back to watching the thing. Yeah. So just out of his mind. And at one point, he looks to me and he goes, "You guys are making me tear up." And Kim goes, "What?" And he goes, I need marriage advice. I've been married 4 years, and you guys look so happy. How long you been married?" And we're like, "Well, I've been married this long." And he goes, "What's the secret?" And he wants to know the secret. I said, "Oh, just, always communicate." And we're yelling because we're right in front of Dead Mouse is up there going, "Beep, beep, boop, boop, beep, 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 beep."
Right.
So we're going like, always make each other laugh. Don't go to bed mad. All the stupid stuff you say.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And he goes, oh man, just keep it up because you're an inspiration. You're an inspiration. And then he began to, not violently, but in a very exerted way, enthusiastically groping the girl in front of him, who's not his wife.
Oh,
it's just some girl.
Here's some marriage advice for you.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I told Kim after, I go, you know what I should have just said? Yeah, my best advice is don't cheat on your wife. He is going like, and when I say grope, I don't mean just like hands on the back or anything. I mean like up the booby front, bum, squeezing the bum, a little down front, a little booby front, all that. Just like all over this poor girl. But I say poor girl, but she was into it. So, whatever. Well, she seemed a willing
as well.
Yeah, she seemed a willing drug partner in this.
Yeah.
So they're doing their thing. And then I look at him like, all right, well, I mean, don't ignore my voice, or my advice, I guess. You're not really that interested. He has a kid and everything, and he says, so he's still doing that.
Well, you didn't specifically tell him not to do that. You just said, make each other laugh and don't go to bed angry.
You're right.
Which I think if his wife were to find out about this, she'd be going to bed angry.
I just feel like it was implied, and this guy didn't care. I don't know.
Apparently, you needed to not go so high, so far ahead as the "Don't Go to Bed Angry" start with "Don't grope strange women at concerts."
Yeah, who are clearly a lot younger than him. He's about 35. Is this guy? She's about 22, 23. So she's much younger. And I know that on that particular drug, it's known for you get real touchy-feely. I understand that. But this was like, he was clearly, it wasn't just, it was more like, so he's really getting into it. But then every once in a while, I would stop, put his arm around me and go again, you guys are killing it. You're just showing us all how it's done. I'm like, okay, you don't know us, but it's fine.
Cool, but don't grope me, dude.
Yeah.
Go.
And when I left, or by the time we left around 3 a.m., it was right during the very last track, because I'm like, Kim goes, hey, you want to beat this crowd? And I'm like, yeah, let's beat the crowd. So we start weaseling our way out, and he goes, hey, man, I never got your name, man. Like that. And I went, it's Scott. And he goes, Scott, we love you, man. I'm like, all right. Now you're the best friend I ever had at a concert. Thanks, buddy.
Awesome.
All right. Then there was one other guy who had had a shirt, a big open shirt with only one button done down by his pants.
Of course. Okay. Yep.
And he came kind of slithering through the crowd at one point, and he's very confidently just moving through people, doesn't care, he's not following the social contract. As Mitsula says all the time, he has main character syndrome, and he just didn't care. But at some point he comes past me and he puts his hand, I need a thing to put my hand on. Here, we'll use this. We'll use this moon. Pretend this is one of my butt cheeks, which is fairly accurate, to be honest. I don't have a big butt. But anyway, he comes around and he puts his hand on my butt.
Just fully, like an accidentally Mitt Romney brushing against it, more like a full-on.
Exactly. That was I was trying to think. Where have I've felt this before, but it was different. and the time with Romney was a mistake. This thing was like grabs it, and I thought, he's just bumping me or moving me, but he goes slowly like that.
Oh, jeez.
Like that, and then kept walking, and he was kind of looking over his shoulder at us, and I went. I mean, some people turn around and go, hey, what are you doing? Where are you going? And I'm like, no, I'm going back, and I'll probably read my book or play my Switch or something. You want to go to my place? So that happened. That was fun, getting touched by a dude. Yeah. And then the other thing I was going to tell you was one of the ladies that was really nice. She was very nice. She kept passing champagne to people who weren't in their fancy area.
Oh, nice.
It was some housewives of one of the place's parties.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, funny.
So some of them were famous women from one of the housewives things. But then some of them were just their friends. They're all kind of moms.
Entourage.
Yeah. They all seem very nice. They seem sweet.
Yeah. It depends on what stage during the night they started fighting and throwing things at each other. That's how you'd be able to tell if it's the Orange County versus the Beverly Hills versus the New Jersey versus the Salt Lake City.
Yeah, definitely wasn't Salt Lake City ladies, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
But anyway, they kept handing drinks around. We're super sweet. But then at one point, my buddy Riley, I didn't see this, so I don't know exactly how the situation looked or whatever. But he's a pretty you see Riley and just think, there's a nice guy who's he's a normal dude. You don't. There's nothing about him where you're like, I don't know. He's just a kind of an average cool dude.
Yeah.
he turns apparently, and this lady who's been all like almost motherly and sweet and kind of letting other people have the stuff they have there, just goes, whack, lifts up her shirt and shows him her boobs. Just, and he's like, I don't think I was supposed to. I don't think that was where. I don't know what happened there. I'm like, she liked you, dude. She thinks you're a hottie.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you maybe give her some marriage advice too?
Yeah, I felt like, hey, I got some great marriage advice, and I should have given it to this guy. I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Maybe don't cheat on your husband, unless he's an asshole. I don't have no idea. Anyway, we left at like 3 a.m. I wanted to give one quick shout out to the opener. Callie Reef is her name. She opened for him, and I think she's part of his Mousetrap Records stuff now.
Oh, really? Cool.
She was awesome. She was so freaking good, and kind of adorable. And she's just like this cool. She's just cool. Look her up if you guys are trying to track down some stuff. She sings some stuff. She does a lot of her own. Well, she does her own music, but a lot of this music was stuff she was mixing and mashing from other stuff. Anyway, she was fantastic. And when Deadmau5 came out, it was clear that he, kind of under his wing sort of relationship, helping her get started and all that stuff. It was just kind of cool. And he kicked ass.
Long dark hair, by the way.
Yes, long hair. She got like Veronica style bangs.
Yep, I see her right here. Yep. Okay.
I may have
Callie
a picture.
Reiff.
See if I've got a picture right here of her from my camera. I might. No, I don't. Maybe I do. Wait. I can't find it. That's all right. So that was cool. One other thing I wanted to show you, if I can find it, and I'll do that in a minute because it has to be converted, is you think, wow, Scott, sounds like this crowd must have not been too bad. It was, I wouldn't say it wasn't bad. It's just that it was big.
Yeah.
And so here's some video. Is it going to show it to me? Hell, maybe not. Let me see if I can. Whew. That's loud. All right. Hold on. Let's bring it up. All right. You guys see this?
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Did you hear that sound when I played it?
I did, yes.
Okay. I'll play it again. This is short, but here's the picture of the crowd behind me. I held my phone up behind my head. Here we go.
I can see the top of your hair.
Oh, why is it going? There we go.
There we go.
I don't know why it's so. There we go. Yeah. It was massive.
Wow.
And it was the only time I dared look back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was just like, "Ew."
Like the blissful ignorance of like, I don't want to know how many, like what sea of people are behind me that I'm going to have to go through to get out of here.
Yeah, or how many more people are going to touch my bum for no reason or ask me for Molly or whatever. And I kept thinking, am I a genre of man that people are into right now? Because that's all I could think of. And Bradley goes, well, you're like a silver fox. I'm like, I don't think that's true.
There you go. Yeah.
I think I look like a toe with a little bit of gray fuzz on top. And he's like, no, I'm telling you, some of these, especially men, they like these, older guys, middle-aged. They want to just get in there. And I'm like, okay, I guess so. But I'm happy and good. Everyone leave me alone. Anyway.
A couple guys want to find you and give you some marriage advice.
It was good, though. It was really good. And I kept wanting to yell at Joel Zimmerman, a.k.a. Deadmau5. I kept wanting to go, hey, man, do you remember calling into the Diablo show in 2016?
That's right. I forgot about that.
And I never had the guts to do it. But he has cool tattoos like Zelda hearts. And they're only half of them are full. He's got like one of the Space Invaders on his neck.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
It's clearly like a big game nerd.
Like a retro gamer.
Yeah, he's super into it. All right, now I want to talk to you really quickly about the wisdom of Metzulah.
Okay, all right. There is a plenty. By the way.
Oh, there's so much of it. You don't even know what to do with it all.
Yeah,
because he's so wise in every possible way. Anyway, he is. We saw him the first day. We went to breakfast. By the way, Mon Ami Gabi, which I know you've been to.
Oh,
fantastic brunch in the Paris. If you're ever there, that is a real good deal there.
And what's great about that, we did that at the end of the prototype TMS Vegas, which was the overnighter, the no hotel room, going to go all night long, do everything and not crash.
Yeah,
that's where we ended up. Was Mon Ami Gabi.
It's very good.
Yeah,
it's part of a larger restaurant company thing where they have a bunch of stuff on the strip.
Okay.
But they're all known for being awesome. Except the name. I think it's Let Us Entertain You is the name of the company.
Oh, really?
And it's lettuce.
Lettuce. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
That makes me want to burn stuff. I don't like that at all.
No, I don't like that either.
But that was really good. So we were hanging around with him, and he says, "Hey, do you want to go see the poker tournament?" Because the World Series of Poker.
Series of Poker, yeah.
Was
at
also
the Rio?
it was actually at the Paris.
Oh, at Paris.
Yeah,
Oh, really? Okay.
Which I didn't know that was happening over the weekend either. There's always something going on, right? But you had UFC, you had that. So he says, "Let's go just look." And I'm like, "We can look?" Like Vegas charges you for everything. What do you mean we can look? And he's like, no, it's just the thing you walk through. And so sure enough, we go to the big convention space they have there, which is massive in the Paris. Massive. Never been back there before.
Me neither.
And I go walking around, and there's 18,000 people on the floor at that moment playing the first few games of the tournament.
Okay.
18,000 people at these tables. And you can see them for as far as you can see them.
Jeez.
And here's the best part, Brian.
Yeah.
You'd think it'd be loud, like a lot of talking or whatever.
No,
Instead, all you hear was this rad, almost like rain at night sound of chips being moved around.
Yes. Because everybody is playing with their stacks of chips. They're doing that thing where they have the two stacks and they shuffle them into one.
Yeah.
Or, click to them. It's like a little nervous habit that keeps you from giving a tell, right? Like, it gives you something to focus on so you don't react to stuff.
Yeah, and I've got a little... Now, this is not good because this is still... You can hear the crowd too much.
There's still a lot of talking in that.
I tried to find somebody who went and got some because this is ASMR for me. It was the most relaxing, chill feeling I have ever maybe had in a public place. It was really neat. And so it was like this.
Yeah.
But take away the human grumbling behind all that.
Yeah.
And just keep the chips.
Just the chip noise.
Yeah, and have the chips be so far away that it may as well just be a little sprinkling rain. It was wonderful.
That's cool.
Anyway, that was really
Kevin,
neat.
Icor says he can do the chip shuffle with 2 5-chip stacks. That's cool. I can't. I did a poker tournament, definitely not the World Series, but I was in a 10-table poker tournament at Excalibur, because it was a nice inexpensive one to buy in. It was like $60 or $70 to buy in, and made it to the final table.
Nice job.
But didn't win anything. I was like first or second one out of the final table. But that is like, I felt compelled to do it because everybody else was doing it, just clicking their chips and making noise with them. So
yeah, it's just a feeling. I don't even know what to call it. But they had, he was talking about how, the buy-ins are like anywhere from the $200 buy-in to thousands, $10,000 buy-ins. And then over the series of days, people work their way to the top, and everyone, of course, roots for underdogs and, some guy that no one saw coming, not the usual faces, that kind of thing. So it was pretty intense.
Ivy or, who knows? I wonder if any of the ones that I know of by name, not know personally, but like Phil Hellmuth or Phil Ivy or... Jennifer Tilly, really good at poker. Yeah.
Wow. I liked her in that one
Family
movie.
Guy.
No.
Bound. Chucky's Bride of Chucky.
I like Bound.
Bound. Yeah.
There's a scene in that
with her and Gina Gershon.
Gershon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we go back and it was all good. And then I got the biggest wisdom bomb from Mitsula. And I don't know why I think this is... I've not stopped thinking about this since he said it.
Okay. All right.
Because I said, we were talking about UFC being in town. Yeah. And I said, why is Dana White, the founder of the UFC and the current CEO or whatever, why is Dana White such a prick? Like, he's such a jerk to people, punches his wife in public.
Oh, geez.
Just an ass in almost every way. Big Trump guy, all this stuff, right? Just wears it out loud, and he is who he is. And this is not a complaint about the UFC, by the way, everybody. I just think Dana White's a bit of a jerk.
Yeah.
And I says to him, why is Dana White, why do you think he's such a jerk? And he goes, he said it in a way it wasn't like sarcastic to me, but he says, well, gee, Scott, I don't know why a guy who made his fortune holding human cockfights would turn out to be such a jerk in a personal life thing. And he's right.
Yeah.
He's right. Your entire world is based on making people fight each other to the to the final moment of the eyes are bleeding and everyone's spitting everywhere and whatever.
It's such a funny way to phrase it, though. Human cockfights.
Yeah, they're human cockfights. He was right.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it right there. And I'm not even saying it's wrong or bad if you like UFC. I like UFC. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
I'm just saying maybe the guy who thought that he could make the most possible money by having people beat the living shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Maybe
it doesn't have the greatest moral compass of all of us.
Maybe that's all that is. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right, 2 more quick things.
Yeah.
Our hotel, we stayed in the TI. Liked it a lot. Treasure Island's actually pretty great right now. Very clean, nice rooms, all that stuff.
And inexpensive, not bad at all. Decent, decent pool.
And one
fancy,
of the only hotels with free parking still.
Right. It's not part of a chain anymore, too, is it? It used to be part of I think it's its own deal.
That might be why they don't have the parking charge thing.
I think so, because it's not part of MGM or Caesars groups.
Yeah.
It's its own thing.
So we love that as someone who stays there or even visits there. That's just a great place. Park your car and walk around the strip.
Yeah.
So that was great. I really liked it. The food there was good. We went to a couple of restaurants in there. All that stuff was good. So actually, huge thumbs up for the TI. But here's my only problem.
Yeah.
On the way to the parking area where we would go, which was also the same direction as just getting out to the strip, there was a lady at a store that sold perfume, I think, or skincare products. Just one of those stores.
Vine Vera.
Something like that.
Yeah.
You're in a hotel, by the way, where no one goes to these little shops, and when they do, they spend too much, and then that covers your monthly whatever. And most of the time, they're subsidized by the hotel, so it's not a big deal. But for some reason, these guys are on hard sales over there, and every time we walked by, regardless of how many times, 5, 6, 7 times, this lady way over there would see Kim and go, "Ma'am, ma'am, ma'am, ma'am." Ma'am, ma'am, ma'am. She'd say ma'am 100 freaking thousand times.
Geez,
and Kim would just ignore her. And I said, on one of them, I said, "Hey, just so you know, this is that, I know you've seen us because you keep doing this to us. She's still the same person when we come back this direction. And she's still not going to be interested in whatever it is you're selling." And I said it really nice.
Yeah.
So as to really get under her skin, right? So we leave, we come back, sure enough, ma'am, 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 ma'am. I feel like calling the TI and going, "Your rooms are awesome. Everything was really cool. Your people were great. You treated us well. I love the place. You guys are great. Keep doing what you're doing. Fire that effing girl."
Get rid of that. Don't renew their contract for a booth for
Exactly. And then finally, we're in the Crystal Shops food court. Lady faints. Guy sitting across from us with a bunch of bags and not private. What's the word? You're when you're supposed to keep your stuff with you at the airport. Belongings.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Belongings.
Yeah, like nice camera bag over there and all this other luggage and stuff. And he bolts. We're like, "Where did he bolt to?" And we get up and we look. Oh my gosh, lady laying there fainted. It's his wife. And then we find out no, it's his friend's wife. But they're in the same group. So he's over there checking it out. I'm like, "Well, that's the right thing to do. What's our thing to do?" Kim and I think to ourselves, we think. And we say, "We're going to watch his table because all his shit is over there. And now he's left it. And this is a public place where anybody can walk in and grab things." So we're like, we're going to help him out by just looking. At one point, Kim walks over and says, "Hey, if you want, we're over there watching your stuff right now. But if you'd rather, we can bring it over here closer and you won't have to worry about it." And he goes, "Nah, I got my eye on it. You guys are fine. Don't worry about it." We're like, "Are you sure? Because, I just don't want to see anything get taken or whatever." "Nah, it's fine. It's fine. We got food over there," he says, which is a weird way of saying it's fine. But anyway, he says, I said, "Okay, cool. We we offered to guard his stuff."
The food will protect my belongings.
Yeah. The food will stand up and fight for its rights.
Yeah.
So we turn our heads for a second, look back at his table, and right then, a homeless dude, a man without housing, what do they call it now? Unhoused human being. I don't know. Maybe he has a house. I have no idea. A guy who's super disheveled. His hair's everywhere. He looked like Yahoo Serious, but in a bad part of his life or something. He walked up there to the table, looked down, looked to the left, looked to the right, grabbed this big giant foot-long sandwich this guy had bought.
Oh, no.
Took a bite, made a face like, and then took off that way. And we said, to the guy again.
Yeah.
We go, I hate to tell you this, but you know how you didn't want us to watch your table? Some guy just ran off with all your food.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
And this guy went, shit. And I went, well, I mean, we offered to help. We would
Yeah,
have sat at your table. We're trying to help you.
We would've protected
She
it,
got
yeah.
sun exhaustion from walking the strip, and that's what it was. They were new there.
Jeez.
Anyway, it was a fun-filled, wacky
least-
weekend. Yeah.
At least it was, what is it, a camera, right? It was just a $5 footlong that he could have gotten back to the
He could have gotten way more stuff. And right after we did that, this dude ran over and grabbed his stuff and brought it closer to him.
There you
The
go.
thing we offered to do in the first
Yeah,
place.
of course.
And he doesn't know us,
Right,
We
right,
could have been shafting him as far as he knew, but
Right.
we put it out in the universe. That's good enough. And we walked away. And that guy, and that guy probably doesn't eat that well very often. So actually, maybe he's the winner is the unhoused man,
Yeah, right.
Mr. Houseless Man.
He got a nice sandwich out of the deal.
He sure did. Anyway, we had a great time. Super fun. Rides down and rides back were great. Can't really explain why that was so good. Also, if you're in Beaver, Utah, stop at the...
Because Kim drove.
That's because Kim drove, basically. Go to the Creamery if you're in Beaver. My gosh, I've never had better ice cream in my freaking life. So if you're near Beaver, just take that Beaver exit and go get you some Beaver ice cream.
Nice. Beaver cream.
Beaver cream.
Wait.
Wait a minute. Chode butter. All right. That's going to do it for today's nonsense. We're going to come right back with Bill here in a second. And when we do, it's going to be fun because he's making stuff and we're going to hear all about it. But before we do, Brian, let's play a song.
Yeah, this song, by the way, brought to you by Don and Tyler Kwan. I forgot to mention them earlier. They live in Loveland, Colorado, and really close to the path and the route. And when I went by them, or I stopped because I saw them, they were holding up big signs that said, "Go Brian," and "You rock Brian," and cheering me on for the ride. And it was just super nice of them. They had a great time hanging out there and watching all the bikes go by, and it was the fuel I needed that first day at that point to see those two.
That's
They're
awesome.
super cool, super cheerful, and was just what I needed. Okay.
Nice.
Let's get to the song. This one comes to us from which Interscope. Oh yeah, we know Interscope.
Sure.
This is a singer who debuted at Coachella, Bonnaroo. She was part of the System of a Down tour. You're going to hear more of her stuff this summer, but the singer's name is Wisp. W-I-S-P, Wisp. Why are you singing like that, Brian? Wisp. It is her heaviest, grungiest single to date. The song is called "Save Me Now," and it comes not what you'd expect to hear from somebody named Wisp. Her brand new album is coming out August 1st. Go check that out. And here is Wisp and "Save Me Now."
Our emperor shall awaken soon. Hurry, friends. You've come. Friends, the door of fate shall open. I've been waiting for you, friends.
I still don't want to be seen with you.
And we're back. Who was that again?
That was Wisp, brand new single from Wisp. Wisp, "Save Me Now." Not easy to say her name, apparently. She's got a brand new album coming out August 1st. It's called "If Not Winter," so check it out. She's also going to do a world headlining tour, and should be a really, really good show. She also supported, like I said, System of a Down. That is a song called "Save Me Now" by Wisp.
Nice. Hey, look who we got here.
There's still something wrong, isn't there, Bill?
Oh my gosh, it's Bill Duran joining us all the way from the Pacific Northwest. Bill, what are you doing, man? How's it going?
Sweet.
I am not, in fact, in the Pacific Northwest today.
Oh, where are you today? What are you hanging out?
I am in rural upstate New York.
Oh, wow. The whole opposite ass end of the country.
Yeah.
Visiting some family, I assume? Some sort of deal like that?
Correct.
Yeah.
Got friends and family out here, so we are enjoying nature today.
Oh,
Nice.
that's nice. I hope your folks are doing good. Everybody's good out there. Yeah. Is your brother there? Is Jamie there hanging out?
They aren't here yet. They will be out here next week, I think.
You tell him he looks an awful lot like his brother when you see him, will you?
Sure does.
You let him know.
handsome
Yeah.
man.
You let him know. We've seen it. We've noticed. It's not.
No.
True.
It's not the big secret he
It's
thinks
true.
he's keeping.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's good to have you here, man. It feels too long, but it's been a month, I guess, so it hasn't been that long.
Sure.
Let's get into it, even remotely. What are you making these days? What are you going to inspire us with?
We finished recently a really cool project. Little something from the Borderlands franchise.
Cool.
So our friend Frank Ippolito, he runs a company down in Los Angeles called Thingergy. They make stuff for movies and TV shows and big installations, especially for video game companies. They are hired to make 5 life-size statues of the characters from Borderlands 4.
Ooh.
Right? This is a huge project. I think 50-plus people ended up working on it, including me and Britt.
Nice.
So these are giant figures, these statues, and they all have Borderlands blasters, of course. So we made just one of those blasters that was contributed to one of the statues. We played a small but significant role, which was really fun.
That's fantastic.
Of course, there's a video up on our YouTube channel if you want to see the whole process. We got the high poly 3D model directly from the video game, which is a real treat.
Pretty rare that they'll do that too, like give you assets that actually get used in the game. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
Now, the 3D model from the game is not 3D printable.
Yeah.
It's wild. The things you can get away with in a video game, you can just have pieces clip through one another.
Sure.
The pieces don't have to be manifold, which means they can have just empty faces
Yeah.
that you'll never see in the game, but a 3D printer doesn't know what to do with those. So
Freaks
Brittany,
out.
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah, and I've tried to print stuff like that, and the printer does freak out.
Is it because so you have to go in and like okay, so I'm imagining one of these guns is if you're looking at it from underneath, it may not even have an underwall because it's never
like
going to be seen.
Like a missing wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So why go through all that work? But what do you have to do? Go manually add that back in there, or how do you do it?
Yes, well, Brittany did all that work. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Pieces had to be made manifold and then bluing together. She had to figure out how to fit a metal frame on the inside of the model. The blaster had to get attached to the statue on its wrist. And the statue is going to have a metal armature inside of it, but this metal frame needed a place where we could put bolts through it to attach to that statue. So that engineering had to happen ahead of time. And then the frame, this was so cool, the metal frame, Frank modeled it and then had a company laser cut it out of aluminum and then mailed the frame to us. So this perfect metal frame showed up.
Oh, wow.
And the parts that Brittany printed snapped onto it. It was such a perfect fit. It was
Like
so
that satisfying click.
Yes. Oh, it was really neat. And it was so cool that we were able to do all this work remotely. Because he sent us the 3D model, we knew exactly how big it was going to be, and we could accommodate for that.
Oh man, this is awesome. So where are these going to end up in the? Like, am I going to see these in some promotional thing from Gearbox or something? Or
there was an event, I believe, down in LA recently where they were shown off, but I think they're going to end up at PAX West this summer. I'm pretty sure.
That's cool. Perfect place for them.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So anyway, Britt did all that 3D work and then printed all of the parts. And nothing fancy with the printing. We just used our normal FDM 3D printers. We just used PLA. Britt had to cut the blaster into smaller pieces so it would fit on our 3D printer. And then we had to put them all together. And like I said, we had that aluminum frame, so that acted like a guide for snapping all these pieces and gluing all these pieces together.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and like I said, it went so well because the frame was perfect.
Yeah.
Then, of course, like most of our projects, lots of filling and sanding.
Yeah. Yeah.
To fill in all the 3D printed layer lines, we used basically it's like Bondo, but it's more of a liquid that you can spray. Mm-hmm. So we sprayed some body filler all over the whole thing that fills in all of the little seams and all of the little layer lines. We sanded it all. Britt also, including that frame, of course,
look at that.
Of course, it had to have LEDs in it, so we had spots for LEDs and spots for running wires and all that. And then once it was all put together, we had to paint that Mamma Jamma, which took us quite a few days. Lots of different colors, lots of masking and spraying, waiting for paint to dry.
What's so great about YouTube is you so much happens in a very short amount of time because of editing. Right. But I could tell that you guys had gone
weeks.
through.
Yeah. I'll be watching a YouTube video where someone else is making something and they're getting to a step that I know was tedious and took forever, and I'll still start to feel like a little anxious for them, and then I remember, I don't have to do that. They're going to time lapse it, and then it's done.
Right.
That's awesome. So
we didn't get to do that.
That build entirely, or that entire build so far anyway, is over on the YouTube channel. So in 15 minutes, you can see many hours, probably hundreds of hours of work in a very short amount of time. So go check that out. If you're not already subbed to the Punish Props Academy YouTube channel, you should be. Get in there. Punish Props. Bill, anything else going on? Any bonus links you want to send us?
Yes, a couple of things. So I got to deliver this in person. I flew down to LA. I had the blaster in a guitar case, which felt pretty cool.
And I delivered it with the metal frame. Any problems getting it onto a plane or anything?
Nope, they didn't even inspect it. Yeah,
nice.
I got to deliver it in person. While I was down there, I filmed more videos with Frank, and I filmed a video with our friend Ali Spagnola.
Oh, that's right.
Cool.
Yeah, last time you told us you were gonna, and then now I guess you've done it.
We've done it.
Yeah.
So those videos are all up on our YouTube channel. The recommendation I have for you today is a guy, his channel's called Eric Beck Effects. If you watched Indie Mogul or Backyard Effects way back in the day, Eric was one of the guys on that, kind of one of the OG prop makers on YouTube. He was tapped to make a rig that would hold a 3D camera or a 360 camera inside of a bowling ball.
Holy cow.
Yeah, for the guys at Corridor Crew. They have a video up, but I implore you to go check out Eric's video and subscribe to him. Like I said, he's one of the OG prop guys on YouTube, and he's been doing more and more on his own channel now, including a behind the scenes on how he put this camera inside of a bowling ball.
Oh man,
that's amazing because of how much it has to stay put, how much it has to stay centered and focused on the same thing.
Yeah, I'll bet that's a huge part of this build, right? Just trying to get that camera from shooting 400 different angles you don't want and staying where you want.
That's what it does. It's a 3D or 360 camera. It just films everything around it.
Wow.
And even though the ball was rolling, I think it auto stabilizes.
Oh, so you could get any angle you want, really, because the footage is fully immersible.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's bonkers, yeah.
That's cool. I wonder what that looks like in VR. Probably a nightmare. You know? Probably the worst thing you could do to yourself. Well, that's cool. Go check it out. That is Eric Beck FX on YouTube, and you can see that entire build. Thine own self. Hey, Bill, I'm really glad we could talk to you while you're on your little trip. Hope you're having a good time out there.
Too.
Yeah,
sure am.
Stay out of trouble over there, and if
I'll do my best.
If worst comes to worst, you can pretend to be Jamie, and now you've got 2 kids. Congratulations! Bye now.
Nice.
Hey,
shoot me that link, by the way, when you get a second.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Sorry, I forgot you don't have that.
So I can add it to the quicktms.li.
Can do. Here it is right now.
Thank you, sure.
All right, you mother effers, let's get into... Oh, I got to share something real quick. I realized that this is a bit of a pride thing for me, but I'm doing it anyway. You know how sometimes we get excited about things got going on.
Things we've done, for sure, yeah.
Projects or, moments of our lives or whatever. And so, Brian, I'd like to share this with you now. As you can tell, I'm killing time while I get these files here.
It's a nice vamp. Very well done.
All right, here it is. So Van had to go to the dentist, and his little sister was so worried. He did fine. He was great.
Aww.
He braved right through it.
Yeah.
But his little sister was so worried about him. So she's
my gosh.
holding his hand there, and then look at this one. She turns around and looked at her mom like, I'm worried about him.
Oh, look at that little furrowed brow.
I know. She was so scared for him, but
That is absolutely adorable.
He did great. He had no issues. He's just like, let it go. All right, let's have it. And she was just like, she's the opposite. She's terrified of this crap. So anyway, cute, right?
That's super cute. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for indulging me. Quick thing. I just wanted to say, the other day we did the villains, the Simpson, the AI villains.
Draw Votter and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. I found another great one. This is Simpsons characters. Right. And at first glance, you might say, it looks like it kind of got it right with someone that's a little smudgy. But look at these characters. Homer, he thinks Marge is Selma. Patty, Milhouse, Mr. Burns, Bemithers. Bemithers. Mo. Abe. Okay, sure.
All right.
Apu is totally wrong.
Skinner.
Yeah, Skinner. Edna is this dude I've never seen.
Really?
Willie and
two
Willie.
Willies.
Yeah. Dr.
Right
Hibbert
off the
is a
rails.
white man suddenly.
Yep.
Wiggum. Okay, that's wrong.
It's Barney. Yeah.
Ralph. Ralph is just this guy.
Ralph is like the morph of Apu and Wiggum.
Yeah.
Like,
It's so dumb. Then you got Kang, which is a combination of actual Kang and Krusty, which is very weird. Frank instead of Flanders. Otto.
It really goes off the rails. Like after Homer and Marge, it's like,
Yep. Frank is totally wrong. Iofo. Oifo, is that how you'd say it? Look at Kang here. That's
yet another Kang.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sideshow Me.
Show me.
Quimby, Martin, Nelson, Dolph, and Jimbo. Fantastic. Good job, AI. We love to make fun of you.
Wow, that's fantastic.
All right. Everything got moved because of our weird schedule. So the Monday show is today at 1. So today is Tuesday, but don't let that fool you. Today at 1 p.m., Carter and I, the Monday show. Watch for that. Nice. Today at 4 p.m., normal time, will be me and Brian Dunaway talking about RoboCop video games at 4 p.m.
Yep.
New medical show on Wednesday. Me and Jerry will record Wednesday and post that same day. So watch for that. We're going to talk about weight loss.
Drugs like the Zempics and
all that stuff. Plus probably some what's the word? Some myths around weight loss drugs and how to, and we'll debunk them.
Nice.
Looking forward to some debunking. And then a quick note about the 4th of July play date that is happening. It's happening at 9:30 a.m.
Yes.
We have
Mountain time.
Mountain time.
Yep.
Correct. We have to be a little weird with it because it's just the 4th. It's a little crazy on schedules.
Yeah.
But 9:30, and it will go until 11:30 because I have a thing at noon. So it's a little short and also starting at a weird time. But
well, it's the same 2 hours we usually do. That just time shifted 30 minutes later.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super easy. So anyway, 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m., 11:30 p.m. a.m. Shit, maybe I had some.
It's going so well.
Had some secondhand MDMA.
Yes, exactly. System. Yes.
Anyway, that'll be on this Friday, which is normally the 4th here in the States, but it is still the 4th. We're just going to play games during it. Brian, anything else you got going on?
Well, stay tuned to find out for sure what our movie is for FilmSack, because the one that we were planning on watching might have gotten pulled yesterday and might not be available somewhere new today. So we're waiting to find out. So it's either going to be Bangkok Dangerous or Jurassic Park Lost World, which would be great timing because Rebirth comes out Thursday. I'm seeing it Thursday night. Or I guess it comes out Wednesday because it's the 4th of July weekend. So it comes out a day early, but
early reviews are a little stinky.
Are they? Yeah,
54%. I mean, I don't know. It's probably a good time, though.
I think it's a good popcorn movie. I don't care. Never tell me the odds.
Yeah, and I hear Mahershala Ali plays Blade, so it'll be great.
Does he actually? Finally,
I wish.
Finally gets the Blade that we've been waiting for.
Sure.
So that'll be this week, and we'll let you know for sure what movie we're doing for FilmSack this week. I think we're back to our normal recording schedule, at least for a couple weeks.
I think so. You got your Washington thing, but I think until then we're in pretty good shape,
we'll
right?
Figure all that stuff out.
Have you seen? I meant to ask you earlier. Have you seen Ironheart yet? The first few episodes, or whatever.
Watched the first 3, and they're okay.
Yeah.
It's the characters, even Ironheart, even Riri Williams, a little 2-dimensional, but I want to see where it goes for the second 3 shows.
The current, let's see if I can pull it up. Current Rotten Tomatoes has it pretty good at 86. That's full season reviews from critics.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay.
Which might explain why the 54 from audience is just the first 3.
Yeah, might be.
I'm sure a handful of people in this reviewing place are probably dicks or just like, Iron Man isn't a girl. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, exactly. Why do they have to go woke with Iron Man?
Iron Man's woke now. Is everything woke?
Yeah.
Eat a turd.
That's why I look at 20 years later, 90% critics, 64% audiences.
Yeah.
So,
those audience members have forgotten what Danny Boyle does.
Exactly. They forget about the punk rock style of directing that he does.
If you
Lilo
go in
and Stitch,
Yeah.
71 critics, I agree with that. 93 audiences, which, it's like,
yeesh.
yeah.
That's a crowd pleaser. Oh, and
It is
I
a
forgot
crowd
This is Spinal Tap Redux thing's out.
No, not yet. It's not.
Isn't it?
No, this is Spinal Tap, the re-release of the original movie.
That's what I meant. I don't mean like redo. It's like just a re-release, right? Didn't they?
Right.
Okay.
The sequel comes out later this year, but that's a re-release of the original movie. I don't know if there's any extra content, but I got notified that Alamo is going to be showing this as well. Ooh. And I kind of want to go see it in theaters again because it's such a great time.
Yeah, because I'd read somewhere they really restored it up to the quality of the presentation.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if they added anything new.
Look at that, 96,
Not that 92. They need to.
It's pretty strong.
I mean, that's
it's classic. It's an all-timer.
The greatest mockumentary of all time. I can't, I love everything else that Christopher Guest does. Best in Show's fantastic, but for me, Spinal Tap is the top.
Yeah. Best in Show and this kind of share the same seats for me, roughly.
Do they? Yeah.
Yeah. I could watch either one right now and be happy. Mm-hmm. And maybe I will. Maybe I will.
Maybe you will.
I assume it's a limited theaters and stuff.
Yeah, it's only in two nights, according to the Alamo's only showing it for 2 nights. So
I probably don't have an option. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's going to do it for today's show. Thank you all for listening. frogpants.com/TMS for all other things. Don't forget to check out today's daily music headlines, though. There's probably some great stories being dropped there today, right?
We're talking about, let's see, BTS has their first ever live album coming out. Thanks to initiatives by folks like Billie Eilish, unsold tour concert T-shirts are getting taken to Morocco, unraveled, and turned into new concert tour T-shirts. So finally recycling all those unbought Smash Mouth T-shirts.
What do they normally do with that stuff? Do they just chuck them?
Throw it away, or maybe they donate them to I don't know. I don't know if they donate them because that would be, just wait for 2 weeks after the concert and go like, I'm just going to get it from the thrift store for $4.
Yeah, you always hear about like Target throwing shit in dumpsters because it didn't.
Right.
And you're just like, what? Why? What are we doing?
Or the whole, like when they do a Super Bowl and they have to have T-shirts for both teams winning.
Yeah.
They have to produce them both so they have them right away, and then the other ones just get discarded or whatever. So
incinerated or something.
Yeah.
They should give all that stuff away. Just put a big red slash on them or something.
Exactly.
You know, like it'll say the Broncos win. No offense to the Broncos. They weren't in this last year. But, if they were the ones that lost, just put a big down the front.
X through the win. Yes.
Yeah. That would be fun. And then you would celebrate the attempt to win. Right.
Well,
anyway.
I think people are saying that those shirts usually go to Africa. Well, now they're going to Morocco and turned into new T-shirts. So that's kind of cool.
Morocco's is that a European thing? I don't know where Morocco is.
That is North Africa. Like that is.
So they just went north. All right.
Northwest Africa.
There you go. Africa, getting all our stuff.
That's right. Exactly.
Someone's got to wear it. All right. That's going to do it for us. Thank you all for listening. Let's play a song. Brian, what do you got?
Yes. This is going out to Trickster, who says, please play this anytime close to June 13th. Would be fantastic. Sorry, this is the closest I could get. It's going to be my 40th revolution around the sun. No particular request. Pick a cover song that you've been wanting to play more, but never have the opportunity to. Signed Trickster. So happy 40th. First of all, to you, Trickster.
Heck yeah.
Haven't played this one yet, and it's been in like a list of like, figure out a way to get this one on the show. This is a cover of the Talk Talk song It's My Life. You might know it from the Talk Talk version or by the No Doubt version that came out a few years ago. This is by a band called Allegories. They released it as a single last year, and it's excellent. It's My Life by Allegories.
Oh, looks like someone just got their ears caught in the audio cookie jar at frogpants.com.
I am inducing vomiting.